Next, I'd like to introduce Luke Graham, Managing Director and CEO of Strandline Resources. Strandline Resources are an ASX-listed mining company with heavy mineral sands assets in Western Australia and along the coastline of Tanzania. Luke is a professional engineer with over 25 years of experience in the mining and resource sector. In his current role at Strandline Resources, he has led the transition of the company from explorer to major mineral sands producer.
Thanks, Katie. It gives me great pleasure today to showcase Strandline Resources at this year's Diggers and Dealers. It's our first time with a booth, thank you very much. It's also our first time presenting as a mining producer, so that's a massive milestone for us. We made that important transition from construction into operations November, December last year. We achieved this transition not in any small way, in fact it was quite a big way. We've brought online one of the biggest mineral sands projects in the world, and we've done that really, really well. It is called the Coburn Mineral Sands Project. It's in WA. When I reflect back on what this company, and more so, I guess, what our people have achieved in bringing such a big greenfield project into production during these periods, you know, it's been quite a challenge with regards to labour shortages. We had COVID constraints, we had cost inflation, we had, and we still do have significant labour shortages through the mining sector here in WA. And we've done that safely, we've done that timely, and we've done it in accordance with our development plan, which is fantastic. And it's a testament to, I guess, the culture that we're developing at Strandline Resources. It does establish us, as we continue to ramp the project up, it establishes us as a multi-decade sustainable business in critical minerals and a really exciting platform for us to grow from here. So I'll look forward to stepping you through. I'll start with a little bit of a snapshot corporately, a bit of a corporate snapshot. We're a young business really in our journey. We're a growing business. We've got over 150 people, direct employees in the business already. When I started, it was 3 full-time equivalents and 2 part-time equivalents in 2017. Massive growth we've had over that period of development. We've got 22% gender females in the business. And that's on the rise, which is really exciting. We're also got about 8 to 9% Indigenous employment, and most of those are our local Nanda people and Mulgana people up in Shark Bay. We're Perth corporate offices, we're headquartered there. We've had no lost time injuries in our development, which is fantastic. A lot of moving parts in a construction, a lot of hazards, and our team have been able to manage those really, really well. Our TRIFR is below the sector standard, level at the moment at 3.2, and there are a few restricted work injuries across our workforce. We have, it says there about 41, but we have about 70 million, a bit more, cash in bank following a recent working capital top-up that we did to really set ourselves up as well capitalised to support our operational ramp-up to steady-state production over the following quarters. We are well covered from research analysts across the sector. Shaw & Partners cover us, Euroz Hartleys, Barrenjoey, and also Morgan Stockbroking. Now, the reports are on our website if you want to have a look at it. Really strong values at Strandline, which underpin our behaviours. You know, they underpin our standards that we set ourselves and also our growth mindset. Trust, courage, excellence, respect and integrity, and it's a powerful combination when you get it right with your people. Our market cap, as you can see, unfortunately, trending down ever since we come into production. Who would have thought we bring such an awesome project on time, on budget, and then come into production, and we've delivered 7 shipments, nearly 1 every month since we transitioned, and it's a tough market is all I'll really say. We're trading at a significant discount to our project's NPV. That's a massive, clearly the market's not taking into consideration the cash flow generation potential of this business, let alone our growth projects. So a massive opportunity for people that follow Strandline. It's a massive opportunity for our employees. Also some strong quarters ahead of us, hopefully. A little bit on the mineral sands market, because I don't think there's any other presenters here. It is critical minerals. Titanium, zircon are the core main product streams. They're used in everyday life, largely driven by urbanisation global growth. There's a range of new applications as well, but also electrification and renewables. It goes into those sectors, which is really nice. Future supply is restricted. That creates a fantastic opportunity for Strandline. We own this asset 100%. We own all our assets, a majority. And I'll take you through that shortly. The spot pricing currently right now, even though it's had a bit of a softer few quarters, particularly with China property sector flattening out and also some of their industrial sectors, our spot prices are significantly higher than our DFS assumptions. That's a lot, 30 to 40% higher right now. And we're really ideally placed to capitalise on that long-term strong market for mineral sands. Let's start doing a deep dive now into the Coburn project itself. As I said, we own it 100%. It is north of Geraldton. We export our mineral out of the Geraldton berth, so at port, berth 4, right next to where Iluka has been operating for the last 30 or so years. So it's really a mineral sands jurisdiction, well established. I'll just stop talking for a bit and I'll just play a bit of a video. It really, hopefully, will demonstrate the scale of this asset and where it's located. Pushing into dozer mining units, the WCP in the background. There's the wet concentration plant. Produces a rich heavy mineral concentrate, zircon, titanium and the rare earth mineral called monazite is in that, one of the richest basket prices of heavy mineral sands in the world. In commissioning at the moment, the mineral separation plant. This separates the minerals once fully ramped up into their final products for sales to America, Europe and also China. Massive solar farm from the outset. Great. So it is a massive project. It's a strategic asset, long life. It's underpinned by 22 and a half years of ore reserves, and it has another 15 years of production targets along strike to the north. So essentially, when you combine those, it's a generational project owned by a junior mining company. It's about 25 kilometres from north to south along is the strike, the ore reserves, and about 3 kilometres wide, 22 million tonnes of in situ heavy mineral. We have a really low strip ratio, particularly on the eastern flank where we're mining at the moment. And then it goes undercover in the west, about 1-to-1 strip ratio in the west. Low slimes overall. It's conventional dozer push mining. Free-flowing sand, and you can see in this image 2 dozers pushing into a dozer mining unit. Fully constructed CapEx was $340 million. We've got the label there of the Northern Australian Infrastructure Facility. They are our major lender. So we're backed by the Federal Government of Australia. They loaned us 130 million Australian dollars. We make our first principal repayment on that in 2028, so 4 and a bit years away. It's a long tenure and it's a really strong enabler for us. They got behind us because of our critical mineral nature, our northern geography, our Indigenous engagement strategies, our local content, all those sort of good things that drive growth in Australia. So a massive support of Strandline and the industry generally. Really pleased to deliver those guys strong returns over time for that investment they've made. We're favourably located, as you said, north of Geraldton, about 300 kilometres. Triple road trains come down that highway. We are, as we said, about 8 months into our ramp up, and You know, we had a fantastic March quarter as our first maiden quarter of operations, strong positive cash flow margins straight out of the blocks. And then in the June quarter, we had a pretty flat quarter. We came across a few downtime events which were a little bit unexpected. We had some premature failures on our dozer mining units, our screens there, exciter drives, those technical know. We had exciter drives breaking bolts and exciter beams cracking. We also had some labour shortages associated with our mining contractor and a bit of availability issues. Also a few constraints with our waste going back into the mining void behind us. One of the beauties of mineral sands is that you progressively backfill the mining void that you just mined with waste with the non-valuables, and you're pretty much closing the mine as you go because you get to fully rehabilitate it. When we made that transition, we ended up having a lot of water mounding rather than what, you know, our engineers have done a lot of things right on this project, by the way, so I'm not going to say we got this, you know, by any means they're not competent or capable, but certainly we didn't allow for how much water would mound rather than seep. And we had to do some hot shoe shuffling and buy some extra pipes, do some bulk earthworks, and I'm really pleased to see that we're on top of those things and getting that behind us. So hopefully a few strong quarters ahead of us as we continue our ramp up, essentially put us back about 2 months. This is the wet concentration plant, significant infrastructure. It is already delivering to nameplate recoveries, the grade of heavy mineral concentrate. As I said, it's one of the richest basket prices of heavy mineral sands in the world. It is driven by an awesome assemblage of zircon, and it's a premium quality zircon, also a chloride ilmenite, which goes into the paint sector, and also a rutile product, which is in high demand as well. So really the focus here, this is already delivering really, really well from us. Whenever we feed it, it's recovering the minerals. So just keep feeding it and it's humming along. Fantastic. The key focus is now feeding that heavy mineral concentrate into our mineral separation plant, which is about 7 kilometres away. It is centrally located in the mine. And we're already locked in our first shipment of final products. So those final products are zircon, ilmenite, rutile, and we're just working now, after doing some commissioning shutdowns to rectify some of the deficiencies that you undoubtedly encounter, which we have. We're back on track now and really hoping to get some shipments out of that premium zircon into the European market, Italy, and also Spain for the ceramics, which goes into tiles, for tiles in your house, kitchens, bathrooms, all those sort of things really drive that demand. And our rutile and our ilmenite will go into America to that big paint pigment sector. So what's next, I suppose, for Strandline is once we ramp this up, that's the main game, that's the primary focus, no doubt. We really need to demonstrate the cash flow potential of this, maximise on the high or the elevated mineral sands pricing, but we're already studying expansion case for Coburn. As I said, massive 37, 38 years of potential mine life there. And it's such a homogeneous dual system. By adding a potential another dozer mining unit to this operation and the infrastructure associated with that, we could increase the scale of this by about 50% again. So that's a key focus for us. Coincidental with the ramp up over the next few quarters, and it'll be a really capital efficient study. It'll be one of the best IRRs, probably best return of investments in the mineral sands sector globally to do this incremental CapEx, and looking forward to that study coming out later this year. Further to that, we also have a whole series of assets, mineral sands assets, zircon, titanium and rare earths, monazite mineral are in these assets along that coastline of Tanzania. Africa produces about 35 to 40% of mineral sands globally, and a lot of that production comes from that southeast coastline of Africa, from Kenya, Mozambique, South Africa and Madagascar, and we've got that strategic land parcel all the way down the Tanzanian coastline with multiple projects there. We are waiting for a special mining licence for Tajiri. It's called special because it's a multi-decade project. The government, we have a joint venture with the government. We're just working through finalising that. We understand Pleasingly, it's finally got to the Cabinet approval. It is a project considered of national importance because of the scale of it. So we've been playing the long game there, I suppose, and we've also got a really juicy Fungoni project there, and it's really quite strategic appeal. We're discussing offtake, we're discussing partnerships, noting that the main game for Strandline is in our own backyard in Coburn. So I won't go on. I'm nearly up in the time, so I really wish everyone to come along to the booth. We're here the next few days. It's a fantastic business platform that we have developed through the last few years. Well done to the Strandline team and all our suppliers. Thank you to our shareholders for going the journey with us. Really look forward to a prosperous future for Strandline Resources. Thank you.